to bring in former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy on this. And Kevin, good day to you. You noted it. I remember hearing it from you back in the day. Chris Murphy, Democratic senator, says no doubt. He says there's no doubt about it. The debate is whether it was enough that it compromised his ability to act as chief executive. Now, there's a bunch of books out there right now. Maybe there's more coming. Off the top of my head, I can't think of one, but perhaps that happens. At which point do Democrats finally shake this? Because it's just a cloud that's moving over them every day.
They're trying to ignore it. They're trying to say, oh, we're just looking forward. But I think the leaders that covered this up should have to resign. So that means Schumer and Hakeem should actually resign because they saw the same thing I did. And when I came forward with what was going on, they all attacked me. They tried to even do the cover-up. Instead of just not saying anything, they attacked those who tried to tell the truth. And they allowed the country to be in this position. That's not a place for a leader to be. When you can see what was going on in the White House, and Dana, you know this better than anything, that White House is a place that is humming. Under Biden, nothing. It is so quiet. And then when you had meetings with them, you had a different meeting every time. But there's times his mind was not there. That he led me into the swimming pool one time. Another time he was dazed that he saw his wife Jill. And why did Jill have to be in so many meetings?
Unlike others, you were honest about what was happening. You told people what you saw. No, so yesterday, we don't have this sound, but Jake Sullivan, who's a national security advisor, he's being interviewed yesterday, asked if he ever noticed anything. And it's reported in the book that a couple of times the president looked at him and called Jake Sullivan Steve. And he said, nope, never saw anything. But you imagine that the Democrats were calling for the 25th Amendment against President Trump in his first term. And none of these people thought this was a concern, that the president of the United States and his national security advisor didn't have clear lines of communication?
No. But the worst part is, privately together, they acknowledged his problems. They made jokes about it. They said he was our zombie. This is the highest leaders in the cabinet would say this about this president, because they would talk about him not recognizing him, calling him by a different name, and then go out and attack those who ever brought it forward. That, to me, is the biggest crime of all, to allow this to go forward, to put America in this jeopardy. And then you wonder why we had such terrible foreign policy. Why were new wars created? Why did we look weaker on the world stage? Why did we lose? Well, they're at fault because they covered up. And this is a country that if somebody falls behind, somebody else is elected to step into that position. They should not have been silent. And if they were leaders and they were silent, they should step away from their job.